What's up? It's Dan. So, in my last crawler videos, I mentioned that I'm working on some RC projects that I need to get done before the SAC Auto Show in October. If you've paid attention to those videos, especially with what's around me, you may have noticed this guy right here. What is that? Well, then go get it. Now, what this is gonna be, as you can see, it doesn't show in the title because titles can spoil things. So, kind of wanted to keep it a surprise. Now, this chassis is full custom, somewhat. This is pretty much a stretched Tamiya TT01. It has the front and rear bulkheads and pretty much the drivetrain and steering, motor mount, all that stuff for it. It's also just rear-wheel drive. That's all I need. I don't need a longer drive shaft. I also made the chassis out of just some polyethylene. Cut it to shape, measure, drill the holes out. But yeah, what this is gonna be is a tow truck. Now you may be asking, why a tow truck? What's the purpose? Well, when we do large events where we have a large track and a lot of people drifting on it, sometimes some of the guys' cars can malfunction or run out of battery, lipo cut or whatever, or get stuck. And it sucks to have to try to run out on the track when everyone else is drifting and you can't time the interval when, you know, cars are passing by, because they can be everywhere. So instead of having some guy trying to run out to fetch their car, this is gonna kind of rescue them if they have lipo cut or something and they can't move or some other malfunction. I'll drive this out and I'll be able to tow it back to them. So that way there's no one on the track and getting in people's way. Now, one of the guys we drift with from San Jose, he has a tow truck as well. I'll link that video in the description below so you can see his tow truck. And his works really well, and mine is gonna somewhat be based off his. He uses 2 servos to lift up an arm, which lifts up a gate hinge, which is what actually lifts up the RC, either from the front or rear. This one, I will be using a fixed boom, and it'll be using a winch, which will lift up the gate hinge. So it'll function a little differently, but the result will be the same. Let me show you the body that I plan to use for this thing. I think you'll like it. Now the body I'm going to be using, it's a Proline GMC top kick. This is going to be my tow truck body. I chose this because it looks really good, it looks heavy duty, you know, and it's tow truck worthy. So I actually have magnets on this body right now, and that's going to be necessary for when I fabricate and design the tow mechanism, which will be around here. Now let me show you some features of this chassis so far that I've done. Now this is something that I started on. As you can see, it's assembled already. It's got dually rear wheels, tires, whatever you want to call them, because the body is a dually itself. I got the proper wheels as well. Now I'm just running a basic ESC, I think this is a 35 turn crawler motor. It doesn't need to be that fast, but it needs the torque because of the towing. TT01 parts, as I said before, you might recognize this bridge, TT01E. I do need to extend it to here because I want it to be all fixed. So I'll be making something there tied together. Now the rears here, as you can see, there's no shocks. They're just turnbuckles, because when this is towing or doing its job, I don't want any kind of sag. RC cars weigh between 2 and 3 pounds, so I didn't want to have to deal with finding a spring shock oil combo, you know. So I mean, that will work. So I just use straight up turnbuckles, so no suspension back there. It has front suspension, and depending on how well this performs, I may or may not have to add weight to the front, just so if it's struggling and starts doing wheelies. I don't want that either. The battery holder here, that is 3D printed. these parts here. I drew up and 3D printed those. I'm going to be 3D printing mainly for cosmetic purposes, but I'll see. I might need to actually have it function or have more of an aesthetic purpose. So let me show you the body on the chassis. So that's how it'll look. And as you can see on the body, I kept this area here just to give it a little bit of ground effect. Looks pretty cool. Now for the toe bed, I can make a new bed, just like cover it over. I mean, I'll have to hack some of it away, but just cover it over with new panels, whether it's going to be made out of this material, which I do have some, or 3D printed panels, I don't know yet. Now the winch, it'll operate off its own remote, it came with it. It's not going to be third channel. I'll probably just attach that little remote to this somewhere, just so it'll be in the same place and I don't lose it. I don't want to lose that. I might do third channel on the light system, because this is going to have lights, you know, maybe blinking everywhere. I do plan on 3D printing parts for the body as well, maybe light buckets, other odds and ends, accessories. And let me show you something that I already drew up and printed. Mirrors. These are actually based off of the real mirrors that come with this truck. As you can see, it's a 3-piece mirror. It's actually hinged, and this will just go right there, and that's how it'll look. Now, what's cool about how I design these is they can fold away, just like that, if I'm transporting this. So, from my experience, things break when I'm transporting, so I don't want shit to break. Okay, so the first thing I need to tackle is actually the body. I decided to modify the bed section. I drew up a sketch, I'll show you later. But I need to do that first, so that way I know how to build and design the toe mechanism. That'll go back here. For my design, it's right here. Pretty straightforward. It's gonna have a flat panels everywhere, so that'll be easy to make. I'm going to be making it out of polycarbonate. I'm going to be using manila folders. It's thin, easy to work with. Then I'll transfer this onto a polycarbonate sheet. Now the body here, I'm pretty much going to be hacking it along there. And then for here, it'll come up somewhere around here as well, down. So I'm going to have to make a back for the cab as well. I think I'm going to be getting rid of all of this back area here. And then I'm going to build this and pretty much put it on the top, covering the area that I cut out. So, alright. Bed is off. It took a little bit of doing. I laid a masking tape line there, as you can see, just on both sides. And then, oops, just cut this portion off. I don't need that. So now I can fabricate the bed using the manila folder to what I had drawn and see what I come up with. See how it looks. This big slab of manila. Now this comes off just like that. This is how much I cut away from the body. Cut all the rear window section out, and half of the bed I angled cuts there because the back here angles like so. But this was fairly not hard to do, because it's pretty much all straight edge polygonic shape, so that's easy to do. Now I do plan on dressing up the bed. I do have some scale diamond plate material. Alright, so I have it all cut up and flattened. There's only a few parts that I couldn't include in it because they overlap. I already traced the pattern, as you can see. Now I just need to take this apart fully so I can match all the fold lines. And yeah, I'll be ready to cut this out. Alright, sorry for jumping ahead, but I got it cut out, folded, and painted somewhat. I'm jumping ahead because I know this video might be long. Because I have to figure out the whole tow mechanism stuff on the chassis. But this is the bed. There are some areas missing, but I'll be getting those later. But this is pretty much it. I may have to add more coats to it. Turned out pretty much like the Manila folder version. Got tabs here to connect the pieces onto it. Now I was able to fold this material pretty easily actually. Cutting it out was even easier. All I did was take a ruler and score the pattern out, and I was able to peel it off just right off the score line. So that was really nice. Now, it's not just gonna be all plain white. It's gonna have a bunch of other stuff on it. I also have some scaled diamond plate material here that I'll be cutting out and putting in some areas just to give it that effect, that look. And some of this will also go on the main body as well. Finish up painting it, slap this onto the body, and then I can figure out the chassis. Alright, it's like a week later. I've been busy doing other things, whatever. But I'm back on the tow truck. Now, I can actually paint the rest of this body if I want, but I'm gonna be working on the tow mechanism now. So I need to pretty much see in there where pretty much the platform on the chassis will be. It'll be around here or so, and then see how much of this I need to cut out for it. Now for the tow arm, I'm going to be using a metal square tube. I'll just come out of here, and it'll be braced by these L brackets that I got, heavy duty. Probably be able to utilize those holes, and then the rest I'll just cut at an angle or so to match the angle of the tow arm. And then I'll also be attaching a winch to it. Here it is. It's a little cute little winch. Got a hook already, but that'll be attached to the gate hinge. Comes with a controller module and a remote. Alright, I got the carbon plate cut and mounted. I have the body lined up with the chassis because I'm trying to figure out how much and where to cut that. So I believe the winch can go somewhere around here, and then the brackets for the tow arm can be there. I have the square tubing cut as well. This is 8 1/8 inch, so it'll come off of here or so. Now I'll be making a guide for the tip here because this line from the winch is gonna come up off of it, so that way it'll stay in place. It'll come off around there or so. Roughly, it'll just rest in place like that. So now I just need to get the brackets set for this, and then also see how much I need to cut, because with that sticking out, when I put the body on, you know, I'll be putting it on like this because that tow arm is going to be sticking up. So I'll put it on like that, and then I can slap it on, and then if I need to take it off, do the same thing. Alright, speeding along. I got the plate mounted with the winch and the tow arm, using these brackets as well. It's a nice clean setup. The arm, I might vinyl wrap it some color, maybe black. Coming along. Now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the bar off so I can figure out what kind of pull I want to cut here. I already have it set. You can see, I know this line is crooked. I don't know what I was measuring. But yeah, I'll just redo that, get my center mark, which this clearly isn't, and then cut something out. And here's the finished product. So now this, just test fit it. This will go right in there, just like that. Perfect. And here is the tow arm and everything else painted up. I just did it black. Keep it simple. This is actually vinyl wrap, so no worries about that chipping. Now for the line, I just have a lower suspension mount there. Just drilled a hole and screwed it through. I redid this piece. As you can see, it's got a guide here for the string for the line now. Because I was a worry if I'm towing a car and I hit like bumps and stuff, this can come off of the arm, and I don't want that to happen. So this is how it looks like now. It looks pretty sick. And I kind of jumped ahead and got the body done, which is right here. Look at that. The bed is connected for the most part. Show you how the bed looks. I'm gonna be doing some diamond plate stuff on the top just to dress it up and to hide some imperfections and other things. I had to bend this like both to shape and flat and to shape again, so it did kind of stress the material. As you can see, there's some cracks happening there, especially here where it's split right there, but the diamond plate will cover that. I hope I have enough to cover most of it. Yeah, I might. I'll see. I might have to do like separate pieces. I did order another set of these. These come in pairs, so you get 2 sheets. But yeah, that's the body. Looking pretty nice. That's the chassis. Trick-ass toe mechanism there. And now, let's make these. Give you an idea of how this is going to look overall. Pretty much like that. Try to get a good view for you guys. You can see the toe arm coming out the back there. You can see the little hardware I have there just to hold it on. I have some on the side here too. But yeah, that's sticking out of there. Pretty nice. Again, it's like low profile, which is fine. Now the hinge that I'm going to be using, the one that I have is kind of overkill. So I got a strap hinge that will be coming soon. This is how the body has to go on. So weave it through there. I just barely got that opening right. You can see where it gets pretty close to there, but none of this moves, so that's fine. All that's left for the chassis is the hinge and hook that mechanism up so that it'll actually work. Hook up the power wires that came with the winch module. Maybe I'll splice it to the battery wires off the ESC. And then for the body, I'll have to see what I want to do for the lights. It's still masked off, I know. I'll probably put some kind of a mesh. I have a lot of aluminum scale mesh for the front there, and I'll do this port here as well. This is a hole, see? And here is the bed. I got the diamond plate accents on there. This is just one sheet, or one piece each. I was able to bend it, shape it in one try. Well, 2 tries, got 1, 2. What I did is I have heavy duty rulers, and I use them in a way to act like as a brake so that I can bend it really nice like that. Just take your time, do it slow, make sure they don't slip when you're doing that. I also wrap this area here in black vinyl, flat black vinyl. I still have to figure out how I want to do the back in terms of like maybe diamond plate and the bumper, and then do the toe mechanism there, which I'm going to be using this strap hinge. I'll just be like this, going up and down. Now, I thought I might have to cut an area there, but I don't think I do. This goes high enough. This doesn't seem that long, but I might have to add to it. And that's fine. I kind of expected that. I also got these side boxes on too. I diamond plated the tops of them. But yeah, that looks really nice. I like the accents on that. Now for the front, I got the push bar on. I made this out of the same material as the chassis. It's a polyethylene, textured polyethylene. Got grill mesh there, and on this vent here, this one is cut open. I just decided to do that. Got some scale wipers on there, banner with the team logo, and these, I just used the orange Sharpie on those. It's fine. It will have a light system. Let me show you how I mounted the push bar. I just used a plate, mounted it like so. There, you can see that. And then just mounted it to the chassis right there. These right here, it's actually these. I used 3 of them, and then I covered them in shrink wrap tubing just to make them all black. For other accents, I think I'll diamond plate down here, just the bottom here, not the side. And then, like I said, I'm gonna have lights. I do have this thing, which will go up here. Yeah, that looks cool. The light system is just the off-brand one that you can get online, Amazon, eBay, made in China. Has different functions, different lights and whatever. Yeah, this will be going on here. I am drawing up some headlights for it. I'm gonna see if I can do the jewel eye style. I know this is a GMC, I don't care. I'll probably have 5 each. I don't know if I'll light all of them up. And then for the back, it'll have like a utility style lights. I think I'll go with rectangles. Okay, I'm working on the lights. Now, as I said before, I was gonna do a jewel eye style headlight, which I am working on right here. This is one. This is actually upside down. This is the top. So it'll be like that. I'm still working on the bottom. I actually have one done, or done for the most part. And it's right here. Look at that. I just stuffed some LEDs in it. Now these pieces here are obviously, I 3D printed them. Just boxes with holes. Then I painted them silver. So that's what that looks like. Well, it's actually this way. Let me show you how it looks like on the body. I'll sit in there about like that. Oops. That'll look pretty sick. I can't really see it because of glare, but yeah, that's pretty much the idea. So yeah, that'll look sick. Now I did do the taillights as well. Right here. These are, again, 3D printed units with holes and cylinders for the LEDs. The lens, I just used some leftover polycarbonate, and I used a Sharpie to color it, and it actually turned out fine. Black Sharpie for the black border, stuck it on there, and yeah. So taillight units are mounted. I did some extra stuff like the black and yellow there. Now these, I used that reflective Yokomo body mounting sticker. Got them going along the side of the bed like that. Gonna finish up the lights and get everything put together, wired up. the tow truck in all its mostly finished glory. There's still a few things I can do to it, but it is pretty much all done. So yeah, what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that little clip I made too? Now, let me update you guys on some things that I did. All the metal parts here are aluminum now, so it's much lighter. This was just vinyl wrap before, but that ended up not working. So I used some polycarbonate material and wrapped it in vinyl. So it's a lot stronger. I also double chained here because I had issues with the links coming apart. I guess it was too much weight. And also, let me explain what I have here on the back. This is part of those stick-on or sticky gel pads that you can put on like your car's dashboard, and you can put your phone on it or whatever. I just got one and cut a little piece there, so it's got pretty good grip. And if the grip is starting to fade, all I have to do is clean it off and it'll actually restore its grip. Let's see, onto the chassis. It looks like this. This is 2 pounds of weight. It's very necessary. I also added some weight here on the body. Added this aluminum strip here to help tie the bridge in together, because when I was towing, this would actually lean back and it would actually pull on this front bulkhead. So that helps keep that from happening. And I also have a brace underneath as well. And I have to mention the speaker here because you just see it here. This is one of those RC sound effect speakers. Let me see if I can demo it for you. That's how it sounds. It's got different sounds to choose from. And another thing I did, it has a drive shaft. I decided to convert it to 4-wheel drive just to help it, because it actually does work a lot when it's towing. So it's 4-wheel drive now. I just took an aluminum rod, cut it to shape, and then drilled 2 holes, put in some grub screws, and that's it. Let me go ahead and demo the tow function for you. Got my remote here. These are 3D printed bars, and for the top bar I have this here to mount the chain. This one is just plain flat, as you can see, and they hold up pretty well. And then this is a piece of aluminum that I vinyl wrapped and attached to the back of the gate hinge there. So yeah, this was kind of a bitch and a half to do. It's just mainly the thought process and your approach to it. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot to mention, it has an interior, as you can see. It's the same one as on my Tacoma body. I got a 2-pack and just threw one in here. But anyway, this is gonna be at the Sac Auto Show. Hope you enjoyed the process of me making this. I tried to make this video short. It's mostly edited right now, and it's gonna probably approach 30 minutes. Sorry. You can skip ahead, skip around, whatever you want to do, or not watch it. I'll see you guys in the next video, whichever direction it's gonna be. Over there? Maybe.